Canada's vast landscapes are home to some of the planet's most remarkable wildlife. From the icy tundras of the Arctic to the dense forests and sweeping prairies, 5 iconic species stand out, not only as symbols of the country's rich biodiversity, but as vital threads in the fabric of its natural heritage. Known as Canada's Big Five, the polar bear, grizzly bear, moose, wolf, and plains bison represent the wild heart of a nation defined by its wilderness. But in recent years, these species have come to signify more than just their ecological roles. They are at the center of evolving conservation efforts and a growing movement that seeks to protect, rather than hunt, Canada's most treasured wildlife. The polar bear is perhaps the most emblematic member of this group. As the largest land carnivore in the world, it roams the frozen expanses of northern Canada, dominating the sea ice ecosystems of the Arctic. Yet, the polar bear's reign is under threat. Recent years have seen warming temperatures rapidly shrink the sea ice on which they depend to hunt seals and raise their young. The polar bear is currently listed as vulnerable, and its future is uncertain. Scientists and conservationists are sounding alarms about the consequences of climate change for this majestic species. The urgency is underscored by recent evaluations of Canada's wildlife. There has been a staggering 40% rise in the number of species designated as at imminent risk of disappearing. The polar bear stands at the top of this list, both as a victim of climate change and as a symbol of the urgent need for action. Further south, the mighty grizzly bear prowls through the mountains and forests of Western Canada. Grizzlies are a keystone species, shaping ecosystems by dispersing seeds and regulating prey populations. But these powerful animals face their own set of challenges. In some provinces, grizzlies are now considered a species of special concern. Habitat fragmentation, expanding human activity, and the encroachment of roads and development into wild spaces threaten their survival. Conservationists are working tirelessly to establish wildlife corridors and protected areas, ensuring that grizzly bears can roam freely and safely. These efforts are part of a broader recognition that preserving large mammals like the grizzly means protecting entire ecosystems, a strategy that benefits countless other species as well. The moose, Canada's largest member of the deer family, is another vital figure in this quintet. With their towering antlers and imposing stature, moose are a common sight across the country's forests and wetlands. They are an integral part of Indigenous cultures, providing food, materials, and spiritual significance for countless generations. Ecologically, moose play a key role in shaping the forests, browsing on shrubs and young trees, and influencing patterns of plant growth. However, moose populations are vulnerable to a complex web of threats, including habitat loss, disease, and climate change. Warmer winters have led to increases in parasites such as ticks, which can devastate local moose populations. The need for science-based management and Indigenous stewardship has never been greater, as moose continue to face mounting pressures across their range. Wolves, too, are woven into the story of Canada's wild places. Once found from coast to coast, wolves have seen their range shrink dramatically due to human expansion and persecution. The eastern wolf, in particular, is now listed as threatened in Ontario. Habitat loss, fragmentation, and direct human-caused mortality, whether through hunting, trapping, or vehicle collisions, continue to take a toll. Yet wolves remain a powerful symbol of the wild, inspiring awe and respect. They are apex predators, playing a crucial ecological role by keeping prey populations in balance and maintaining the health of ecosystems. The survival of wolves is closely tied to the preservation of large connected habitats, making their future a barometer for the health of Canada's wilderness. Completing Canada's Big Five is the plains bison, an animal whose story reflects both tragedy and hope. Once numbering in the millions, bison were hunted to the brink of extinction by the late 19th century. Thanks to concerted conservation efforts, including reintroduction programs in places like Banff National Park, the plains bison is making a cautious comeback. These animals are more than relics of the past. They are ecological engineers, shaping prairie landscapes by grazing, trampling, and creating habitats for a host of other species. Their presence is essential for the restoration of Canada's prairies, some of the most endangered ecosystems in the country. The return of the bison stands as a symbol of resilience and the potential for humans to repair some of the damage done to the natural world. In recent years, there has been a profound shift in how Canadians, and indeed, people around the world, think about their relationship with these iconic animals. The traditional concept of the Big Five originated in Africa as a list of the most sought-after species for trophy hunters. Today, a growing movement seeks to redefine this idea, emphasizing wildlife photography and observation over hunting. Initiatives such as the New Big Five project have gained international momentum, encouraging people to shoot these animals with cameras instead of guns. This movement not only celebrates the beauty and majesty of wildlife, but also raises awareness about the urgent threats they face. In a recent global poll, over 50,000 people voted to include the polar bear alongside elephants, gorillas, tigers, and lions as the world's new Big Five, highlighting the interconnectedness of conservation efforts around the globe. The challenges facing Canada's Big Five are formidable. The stark rise in species at risk underlines the scale of the crisis. Organizations like the Canadian Wildlife Federation are leading the charge, engaging in research, habitat restoration, and public education to ensure that future generations can marvel at these animals in the wild. Partnerships with Indigenous communities are also essential, drawing on traditional knowledge and stewardship practices to safeguard both species and habitats. Ultimately, the fate of Canada's Big Five is tied to the choices we make today. Their survival depends on our willingness to protect wild spaces, mitigate climate change, and find new ways to live alongside nature. These five species are more than just icons. They are living testaments to the complexity and beauty of Canada's natural world. In protecting them, we preserve not only our wildlife, but our very sense of what it means to be Canadian, rooted in the wild, resilient, and forever connected to the land. Join us as we embark on unforgettable journeys into the wild, exploring the incredible stories behind nature's most fascinating creatures. From the majestic Big Five of Canada to rare and elusive species around the globe, we bring you closer to wildlife than ever before. Discover breathtaking landscapes, learn about vital conservation efforts, and gain a deeper appreciation for the beauty and complexity of the animal kingdom. Subscribe to Paws, Claws, and Wilderness. Your adventure in nature begins here.